Thursday night is uni night in Canberra. Cheaper drinks and no entry fees entice people into the city. It's also the first night of the week for the night crew team.
But I think Moose is probably going to be the busiest spot tonight, so important that we keep the waters going, keep the lollipops going, check in with security to see how they're behaving.
For more than 7 years, St John Ambulance volunteers have been patrolling the city streets. Their aim, to keep people safe on a night out. But a year ago, a change in the ACT's drug laws prompted some concern that nights would get much busier.
We're being warned the relaxed laws will see people from other parts of the country travel to our nation's capital for drug-fuelled parties.
It's going to become a drug-addled druggy central.
Who would have thought that Canberra could become the party capital?
It will end in addiction and heartache, and for some, even in death.
12 months on from the ACT becoming the first jurisdiction in the country to decriminalise small amounts of illicit drugs, these volunteers haven't seen any difference.
I haven't seen an increase or decrease in behaviour. There's still drugs around, there's still intoxicated persons. We don't see too many hard drugs out in the city.
Among those initially opposed to the laws were police.
There you go. Yeah, good. Yourself?
Very well.
There you go. We got much on today?
It's a busy morning, yeah.
They were concerned the change could spur first-time drug use and see an increase in crime.
Certainly we haven't seen a significant change in behaviour at all. And I think certainly from our perspective that's been a real positive.
But they're keen to reinforce that the laws didn't change the fact drugs are illegal.
It's obviously a health-focused response which we absolutely support. But we've still continued to undertake our other policing activity absolutely with a zero-tolerance approach.
Rather than facing a criminal charge, people caught with small amounts of drugs such as ice, heroin and cocaine are now issued a $100 fine or referred to a 1-hour drug education and health assessment. Since the laws came in, 237 people have opted for the assessment, while 13 people have been fined. On the other side of the world, in the US state of Oregon, drug decriminalisation has been rolled back. Their laws were effectively repealed this year, following an alarming increase in fatal overdoses, largely caused by the potent synthetic opioid fentanyl. From his office in Australia, researcher Paul Collator has been examining the success of drug policies.
We can see that investment in treatment is a central part of generating successes from decriminalisation. Investment in treatment and expansion of harm reduction.
Back in Canberra, since decriminalisation, there's been a 50% jump in the number of samples tested by the city's drug checking service, CanTest.
We haven't noticed any increase in drug use, and I don't think that's been apparent anywhere. But I think people are more comfortable coming forward and seeking help.
And that's more important than ever, with dangerous substances like fentanyl and nitazenes in illicit drugs found for the first time in Canberra. 20 people have died from suspected drug overdoses in the territory this year, but experts say there's no correlation with decriminalisation.
Research out of Oregon and Washington has showed that decriminalisation doesn't affect fatal drug overdoses one way or the other.
As the night begins to wind down, the night crew volunteers are handing out their last waters and lollipops. While it appears the laws haven't substantially changed life in the capital, they will be independently reviewed next year. Monty Bovell, ABC News, Canberra.